Yo, 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 what up, everybody? It's your boy Royce the Voice, Orange Click, Orange Leader. Shout out to K-Team. Speak your thoughts or lose your mind. It is Monday the 11th. It is 8:01 p.m. and it is cold as hell outside. What's up, Gina Mitchell? What's up, Walter Hinky? My boy Josh Lovett, Christian Davenport, and anybody else that may be on. Because see, the way that we're doing it now, it's like we can see everybody's comments all scrunched in together. You feel what I'm saying? So going to my certain pages and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's hard. It's not hard to see who's all on and stuff like that. But you know what? I'm just gonna bump it. I'm just gonna give that shout out anyway. Alan Crow, you dig? Brenda Craig, what's up? She's always on here, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all of her input and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Let me look on this side here. What's up, Summer? What's good? What's good? I got Summer up in here. Shout out to Josh for the stars. Look at him sending stars this way. All right, I see that, man. And just to bring that out to everybody, man. This is kind of like a shout out to Kevin Lambert and everything. What's up, my guy? What's up, my guy? We definitely need to talk, man. Angela Sorrell, it's nice and warm here in California. So we don't care if it's warm over there. Forget California right now, cause we cold. We cold over here. But let me just say this: we've been making some great strides here under the Royces Rent Network, along with the prescription, the RX with Herschel Williams, and also my boy Nino Black with Black Thoughts. Man, we've been pushing, we've been grinding, and Facebook emailed us and asked us if we wanted to be a part of their Star program, and basically that just means just accepting regular, just simple donations. They got stars set up and stuff that you can see on the Royces Rent page, and just really cheap, man. Like if you guys just support the show or whatnot, and you want to send 1 or 2 cents that way, you know what I mean? Please do, man, because this is a independently ran network. We've all got our regular jobs and stuff here that we're working, but just to keep this show running and making sure the quality that we give you guys continue. Just feel free to support. You know what I'm saying? And even if it's not that way, support just by sharing, just sharing the stream and give your boy a shout out. You feel what I'm saying? Just trying to do some good things here in the South Central part of Tennessee, by way of Tullahoma. You dig what I'm saying? So it's nice to see everybody on. I'm definitely not gonna be long today, and I say that all the time. I really do. Y'all know how it gets, unless I just have some participation. I don't have a guest speaker this time around or whatnot, so you're gonna be hearing a lot of me and anybody else that would like to join into this conversation. But it's gonna be slick short, gonna be slick sweet, and of course it ends like a little rant or anything like that. And then we'll go along our way because as you see, we've got a lot of things going on. Woo, in this world, in this United States, in this state, and in this city. One thing I will say, just as like a little pre-talk, what I will say is, there's definitely a shift happening. There's a shift coming. I ain't gonna say coming. The shift is happening, and it's affecting all of our areas, especially this micropolitan area. First, I just want to give a shout out to anybody that's been out here sick with the COVID. We pray for a speedy recovery for all of you. To build up your immune systems. Whether you take the shot or not. You know what I mean. I hope and pray for your speedy recovery. Shout out to Mary J. What's up, Mary J? All the way from Europe. What's up, homie? What's up? I see you. I see you, man. So, yeah, speedy recovery to everybody that might be out there sick. And if you feel a little you know what I'm saying, go on and get yourself checked or whatever, and eat those greens, drink that water, take them vitamins, and just build up your immune system. You feel what I'm saying? So, so just to kind of just a little recap. Uh, First, the title of this is called "This Is America," right? Um, and I thought I saw Christian Davenport saying that she would listen to Childish Gambino song. Yeah, you feel me? Shout out to Childish Gambino, real talk. Anyway, this is what I would like to say. Just to recap before I dig into our topic of discussion and stuff. So anyway, so last Wednesday, you know what I'm saying. I got up before I went to work, that morning, and I just saw some things on the Tullahoma News, and I addressed to whom it may have concerned at that time, about how I was feeling, and I just want to let everybody know that I still stand firm on what I say. My choice of words may have been a little out there or whatnot, but that's just how I was feeling. But I still feel the same way about that, and I really say that in hopes that our Tullahoma newspaper can step it up a little bit and dig a little deeper into topics that would be more beneficial for the whole city. Uh, I think a lot of people had agreed with me at that time. Probably still feel that same way now. To say Tullahoma News has, you have a rep to protect, and I just hope that you guys up there in Tullahoma News can really start giving us some real news, something that's going to benefit the city. And I would say leave the gossip talk and all that stuff like that on the Facebook, because that's where we go to talk our ish. That's where we go to talk about our conspiracy theories and just the freedom of speech all day. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't think, I'm not gonna say it was Tullahoma's place. You can do what you want to do, but I just felt like that it was a situation that did not need to be addressed and did not fit on the front page for something like that. I think we all needed to hear something else. We need to know what's going on with our budget here in Tullahoma, what's being spent on, who's on the new seats and these new boards, planning commission, chamber of commerce, all of that stuff. Those are the kind of things that are vital to our city that we need to know. So I just encourage the staff up there at Tullahoma News to dig a little deeper, give us some information that is beneficial to the city. So I'll leave it at there because I was going to start repeating myself. Sierra Ballinger said, Tullahoma News seems to have turned around in the last little bit. It's mostly gossip and drama instead of news. And I definitely understand that. And the more people talk about it, I'm pretty sure that they'll get the message or whatnot, So I say those things and I said those things in hopes that people can do better, that they can do better. So it wasn't just a bash just to leave it there, but I wanted people to do better. As far as Jenna Mitchell says, they're afraid to take on black issues and the craziness with politicians and their unconsiderable behavior. I feel you. And also with the situation, just to clear that air with that, me speaking up for Alderman, McGee and everything, and calling out Craig Northcott, I still stand firm to that. Like I said, words might have been a little outlandish, but that's how I felt. But I still stand firm to that. I still feel that he was doing that for a particular reason. And I understand everybody has to apologize and stuff like that. That's good. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I hear you, Walter. I understand people apologize, and this is what they do, and all good. I feel a different way about that because I feel like I see a little further and read between the lines as far as the people that were attacking her in a sense. But just shout out to Sister Sonova McGee for handling it the way she wanted to handle it. I just feel a little different, you know what I'm saying? And that's just me speaking, but I'm gonna leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? I said what I said, and I hope it reached out to the people that I called out, and just know that I still stand firm on it, and if they wanted to reach out to me, fine. If not, we have a greater mission to pursue here in this town. So with that being said, this is America. Lord have mercy. Where can I start with this? Now, mind you, let me throw up this disclaimer. I am so impolitically correct. Does that even make sense? Impolitical? I'm not politically correct. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I think I know what I mean. I'm just a regular person. My dialogue may be a little wishy-washy and in sentence fragments, and I may say the wrong terminology. So if I speak in layman terms, I'm not stupid. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, hold up. So yeah, I'm not politically correct. I just say how I feel in the words that I speak. So anyway, if I can get people to share real quick before we dap into this, you know what I'm saying? Thursday, we're going to be announcing the winner for the Plantation Ponderosa with the host Herschel Williams out there in Carthage, Tennessee. So, continue with these 50 shares. That's what we need to get. 50 shares. And we're going to, got my app here. We're going to go through a little list, a little raffle, and we'll pick those people come Thursday on Herschel Williams' show. So stay tuned to that. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for sharing, Gina, and everybody else. Please continue to share. All right. So this is America. So last week I had posted up something on my page that I kind of want. Ooh, God! Ooh, shots fired! Dang, he's my producer already killing folks. So I wrote something on my page concerning the things last week, and I just it got a little, you know what I'm saying, some feedback, from the people and all that. And I wanted to address, one thing that was said in there. But before I do that, I'm gonna read just strictly from the page, just not one of those things where I had to press more, to read it or whatnot. I feel you. Simple speech is best sometimes, bro. Talk your talk already. Appreciate it, Cody Thomas, man. I hope you were able to do that thing that you said you were gonna do, last week, Cody. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta express it on here, but I hope you got some understanding there. Sierra Ballinger, what's up? What's up? Appreciate it. Appreciate the share. So last week I said I just want those who say white privilege doesn't exist to look at the news. Do you see the chaos? Do you see the lack of consequences? I don't care if you are a Trump or a Biden supporter. The fact that the media is still trying to find a way to make it an Antifa or BLM situation, and sadly, some people will believe that. Trump supporters will say it's a voting fraud. Who knows? And that's not the issue here. The problem is we now see clearly a difference in how the media shows black and white people. See it? That's all I'm asking for you. See it for what it is. And usually when I post up stuff like this, I post up stuff like that so I can get some type of feedback from the people. I may not go back and forth, because I'd rather hear everyone else's opinion and stuff. There may be occasions where, something gets under my skin and I may go a little off or whatnot, but I'm trying to work on that. But at the same time, that's just how I feel, and I still stand firm on what I said in my comment. But going back to what I said on the main page on my post, there was a particular individual. Well, there were a few individuals that uh, didn't understand, what we mean when we say, white privilege. And let me just kind of just get this. Let me just try to. I can't say I'm gonna nip it in the bud because there's always going to be some misunderstanding. Gina said, I'm not trying to be politically correct. Right wing, racist, the Trump, you don't made up a word. Re-Trumplican cultists lost their flipping mind. She said re-Trumplican. Man, these words, boy, I tell y'all. Okay, so check it. So I'm gonna explain two things that what I think is happening. Okay, and it could be both, but it's one of the two, and this is what I say right here. But first, when I was speaking on white privilege, in this particular situation, this is what I mean, and you can look at it from what the media is showing us, excuse me, or you can look at it from it is just what it is, and that's just what they're doing. All right, so let's use a little common sense. All right, the common sense is this is the nation's capital, right? The nation's capital, White House, Pentagon, the Capitol, the House of Representatives, Senate, everywhere. All right, that's the most secured area supposedly in the world. You know what I'm saying? No fly zones in certain areas. You know what I mean? We got bunkers. We've got freaking military police from secret servicemen and the secret of the secret of the secret. You know what I'm saying? Um, and here's the thing: the common sense is like when we're sitting here looking at the television. All right, um, the white privilege that I'm speaking on is the lack of fear that these individuals had. All right, here at the rally. I noticed how the news was cooperating, calling them Trump supporters. Um, if it were a group of black people or BLM, I don't even want to throw BLM in there. That's so controversial. I'm not even going to throw Antifa in there. That's controversial. But when there's an assembly of black people, and this is just straight up black and white here as we see it, when there's an assembly of black people, the media approaches it a little different. They would call us thugs. They would call us rioters. You know, tearing up the city. All types of negative connotations. I don't know why I keep hitting this. It's so close. All types of negative connotations that send a subliminal message to the black community. What did Brenda say? This was a stage event. The U.S. Capitol is normally heavily guarded. The mayor refused additional forces. I agree. They just let them stroll through the halls, not normal. And I'm going to get on that. I'm going to get on that. That's what I'm saying. That it's two things or both. But I think out of those two things, they're saying one thing, and I feel like they're saying one thing to the black community. BJ, I see you. Hold on, just a minute. Um, so you've got a heavily guarded area that has been taken over by regular American citizens, right? Some people will say that they were crisis actors, whatever it may be. The image that was shown, okay, the image that was shown was very controversial. It was very confusing to the black community, and the reason why it was confusing to the black community is because of what we've seen in the past. Let's just go to 2020, right? 2020, the media was showing black people looking bad. We were called everything under the negative connotation book to get people riled up, to get people pointing fingers on, oh, it's your fault, you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that. Black people are destroying shit, BLM is destroying shit, all these organizations and stuff like that. And there was just mayhem going back and forth, right? We saw how the police reacted. We saw how the media was showing us how the police was reacting. They were just targeting black people, showing that image of black people getting maced and sprayed and shot, killed, all that jazz, right? So I want you to put your mind into a black person's mind in the black culture, right? When we're looking at this, and we got this thing called Black Twitter. Black Twitter was was going ham, but if you can understand where we're coming from right here, we're looking at the television and we're seeing, let's just keep it real, we're seeing white people infiltrate the Capitol, it seems, with ease, pushing the police over, pushing the barricades down. Who we got up in here? Okay, I see you. Oh, okay, I hear you, BJ. All right, just a moment. Pushing the barricades down, breaking windows, going inside the Capitol, slipping, sliding, break dancing, taking statues, putting your feet up on the couch like Rick James and Dave Chappelle. Fuck your couch. You know what I'm saying? Taking pictures and posing, right? And I had to sit back for a minute and I had to be like, okay, before I react, before I say something, before I get all riled up, you know what I'm saying? And before even, my black community gets riled up and wants to do something about it, I had to sit and think for a minute. I'd be like, wait, we cannot fall for this trick again. We cannot fall for this trick again. The media was showing us a message, giving us a message by practically saying that we can do whatever we want. We can burn this Capitol down. We can put this on the news and nothing will happen. And this is what I'm trying to say with the people that were there rioting and tearing up shit. I'm not here to assume anything, but we all do it, and our gut instinct tells us certain things. I know subconsciously, I feel subconsciously that the people that were out there had no regard. It's almost like they didn't care about their safety. You understand what I'm saying? You were there, Sierra. They did not care about their safety. Props to your bravery and stuff like that. But from the black community, we would be scared as hell. And there were actually some of us that were like, well, why aren't they being attacked? Why aren't they being shot with rubber bullets or something like why aren't they really being taken down? If it would have been an assembly of black people, we know how this would be. All of us would know how this would be. And I think a lot of us are turning a blind eye on what's really going on and not wanting to talk about it. And so when we speak on white privilege like that, part of it is turning a blind eye, closing a deaf ear to exactly what they are showing us. And it is the truth. I feel that if it was an assembly of black people doing that, it would have been regulated differently. The way the media showed those people entering the gates sent a subliminal message. And I would have to say that I'm very proud. I'm pretty proud of the black and the woke community for kind of sitting put, you feel me, making your jokes online and everything, and not riding up to DC to go do that stupid shit. You feel what I'm saying? Now, by all means, fight for your right. You feel what I'm saying? Fight for whatever you feel. If you feel that Trump and there was a voting fraud and stuff like that, the Trump supporters, if you feel that way, hey, I'm not even going to argue with you because seriously, I don't know what's really going on behind closed doors. It's hard to believe anything that the media says right now. You know what I'm saying? And so, me being a slick person who likes to think a little deeper, yeah, I felt like that it was staged, but I also felt like that it was staged to send a message to get black people riled up. And I'm just kind of proud that we did not retaliate like our mind would have told us to do. There were so many subliminal messages sent back and forth. And there was this one question that someone had asked me, and then I'm going to get to my guest that just came in here. Somebody was asking me, yo, well, if a white person was killed, they said one white person was hurt. One white person was shot and killed. And she asked me if I was happy. And that just kind of threw me off. I'm not gonna say the name or anything like that. You guys saw that, you saw it on there or whatnot. But she asked me, was I happy? And that's where I feel like this is where I should talk and make, let people understand. Like, how you doing, Melissa? Make people understand that no, I don't want anybody to die. I didn't want anybody to die or anything. Did I want some retaliation? Yes, I really did want some retaliation, and I was just in awe of like the lack thereof. But no, I'm not happy that this particular woman got shot and killed. But as most people would say in a rebuttal, when there were a lot of these things happening with police brutality and all these riots, most people would say, yo, well, he or she shouldn't have been out there. They shouldn't have ran from the police, or they knew the danger that they were getting in. Those same people that were saying that to me and others were upset that one person to four people were hurt or killed. Yeah, somebody actually asked me that. It's on my page, Herschel. Like, it's one of the first comments on there. And I was like, no, I'm not happy that anybody died, but I am upset that the retaliation was totally different from this past summer, when all um, black and brown people and the unheard were doing was just peacefully protesting, you know. In this particular situation, they just ran this mug down with no regard. And see, there's a thing with the black community. Let's keep it real. We're speaking real here because, like I said, not politically correct, but speaking real talk. With black people, we're a little cautious of doing stuff like that. I'm just keeping it real. And some of my white counterparts and white people that I don't know, to keep it honest, like, you guys do things with no fear. Like, there's no consequence. Especially the ones that were on television. They did it with no fear, like, no, nothing's going to happen to me. That's the privilege that I'm speaking of, the subconscious privilege of doing things without thinking of consequences. Of, they're not going to stop me. They're not going to stop me from doing what I got to do. This is my right. This is my First Amendment. This is my Second Amendment, all the way to the 13th. No pun intended. That's what I'm talking about. With black people, it's a little different. It's, even though we're told that we have First Amendment, Second Amendment, and stuff like that, we're a little hesitant of doing certain things, and the media has manipulated us into thinking that every time we do something, there's something going to be happen to us, and usually it does happen. And this is the confusion that we have right here. You feel what I'm saying? Sierra says, you want answers as to why other races can do what your race is not allowed to do. I understand. That's pretty much it. Why it's being allowed to happen. That's why I want people who are saying stuff like this, like, were you happy that a white woman got killed? I need y'all to understand you're not you're on the wrong track. You might be on the right train, but you're on the wrong track. Might be both. But no, I don't want anybody to die from this. But the black community and others were very highly upset on the retaliation with our security, so to speak. That message, it sent a message. To me, I feel like it sent a message like, look what they can do and look what you can't do. Get mad. Get mad. It sounds like they wanted a big riot. So I have to give a hand clap, you know what I'm saying, to the people that did not retaliate. Why know why there is a different response? We are subject to this country. And that's true. Like there is, how can I say this? There is a subliminal message being sent to the black community. And we have to be have our third eye open and read between those lines, and we have to act accordingly and handle it in a different way, because to my black community we have a long way to go. To my white counterparts, friends that I may have, friends that may be confused about what we talk about or maybe even upset or anything like that, you have a long way to go to understand. I wish that more people would open up their eyes and be more receptive to these subliminal messages that I speak on. You feel what I'm saying? So I see BJ over here in the corner. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and bring him in or whatnot, and we can chit chat. I want to know what's on his mind, and anybody else that wants to dive in. So, producer, if you don't mind, go ahead and bring him in. Bring him in. Oh, there you go. What's up, my man?
How's it going, man?
Man, just hanging in there, bro. Just hanging in there, man. How about yourself?
Uh, I'm here, still in a little bit of a shock.
Still a little bit of shock, man.
Yeah.
Man, man. It seemed like the Simpsons was trying to tell us something.
I don't know if the Simpsons were trying to tell us something, but
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI and everybody else tried to tell us something. We just
I
wasn't
feel it.
listening.
I hear you on that, man. So let me yeah, go on to bring Lady G up in here too. I think she just popped back in. Make sure she's good. Okay. So BJ, yeah, let me hear some of your thoughts, man. Like what's going on with you, man? Like what are you thinking?
Okay, so to start with being an orchestrated attack, that's exactly what this is. This started months ago when the election, with the lie that was perpetrated that the election was stolen. I mean, we know this for a fact. The NSA, the FBI, the CIA, Department of Homeland Security, all these different groups have, literally thousands of people that sit behind a monitor and do nothing but infiltrate these groups. QAnon, all this different stuff, Parler. They sit there and they watch these groups and they look for this chatter. And for weeks leading up to this event, they were aware that this was going to happen. They had, it was orchestrated from the very beginning that, hey, they're going to march on DC. They're going to march and try to stop this. They didn't know it was going to be at that level, but they knew they were coming. Now, to back up just a little bit, let me thank the National Guard and explain a little bit about what the National Guard and the reserves do.
All right.
Okay, so they're not a standing force. They're people, they're the everyday guy. They work at the bakery. They work at the bank. These people have jobs. When they get called up, they get a phone call or they get an alert on their phone with text. And they say, hey, meet us at the armory at such and such time.
Yeah.
You show up, you have your, you're already in uniform. You get a standing set of orders from your commander. Those are legal documents. So that is a lawful order of saying and outlining what your job is, what your scope of your job is, what you can and can't do. And you have to have permission to even get into DC. That's another thing that people, that not a lot of people are talking about. No standing military force can just walk into DC.
Gotcha.
They do that, to stop exactly what happened on the 6th. You don't want armed military, doing a coup in the middle of DC. Because who's going to stop them?
Gotcha.
I mean, they're the ones that are supposed to protect us. I mean, if they, if you get a rogue general or something like that, or even down, if you get down to major and captain, if they've got 200 troops underneath them, they would have took the Senate, in 30 minutes, and nobody would have stopped them. Yeah. But the thing of it is, though, even like they were talking about, the DC and the Capitol Police had asked for assistance. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, they asked for assistance. But it is not, 30 minutes later, you get assistance. These orders have to be drawn up. They have to be approved by JAG, by the Adjutant General. That shows that they're a lawful order. and then they have to be disseminated through the troops, and then everybody has to be made aware of that, and then you still have to arm these people and give them the proper gear, and then you got to put them on buses and get them there. So they knew in weeks ahead of time, and the only force that they did have out there was the DC National Guard, and they were there as traffic cops. So I mean, the thing of it is, I mean, right now we just had Trump's DHS secretary quit. You had the Sergeant at Arms of the Senate and the Sergeant at Arms at the House quit. You had the Capitol Police chief resign. You have all these officers that are, under investigation right now, suspended. One of them's just flat out got arrested today. They just went ahead and put his ass in cuffs and carried him, to jail. Like, you had cops moving barricades, letting people in. And that's the thing. They can say whatever they want to, but
hold on, I think we okay, you still there, BJ?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
But I mean, we knew that 3%ers, Oath Keepers, Proud Boys, all these different groups were going to be there. And we know for a fact, I'm going to read it if you don't mind. I got this paper from the DHS.
Go ahead.
Okay, 2020 is the paper's entitled State of the Homeland Threat Assessment 2020. It goes on to say, we judge that ideologically motivated lone offenders and small groups will pose the greatest terrorist threat to the homeland through 2021, with white supremacist extremists presenting the most lethal threat. Among DVEs, domestic violence extremists, we judge that white supremacist extremists, WSEs, will remain the most persistent and lethal threat in the homeland through 2021. That is our own Department of Homeland Security telling us this.
Wow.
But the thing about it is that came up back in 2018. Don Lemon on CNN had an entire show about the threat of white supremacy in America, and everybody shot him down and told him he was being an alarmist, that he was just an anti-Trumpster, and it was just sour grapes. And look where we are.
And let me say this. There was. Let me read something Kelly Allmarker said. I kind of wanted to challenge her on that, but she said I was completely devoted to staying for this entire live for intelligent conversation on this issue until said you brought BJ in. He's not one to be speaking on this subject. He's extremely biased and has proven in the past he only wants controversy without intelligence. I have no respect for him or his opinions. Peace out. Well, Kelly, if you're still on, let me just say this. This is the platform to speak your thoughts or lose your mind. You know what I'm saying? It would actually have been great to have some type of, dialogue with you also, your opinion on some things. The link is available or whatnot. Please feel free to click on. You know what I'm saying? This is not a one-sided thing. These guys have been the most consistent as far as just coming on here. I give everybody the freedom to click that link and just speak up. You know what I'm saying? By no means am I a person who knows everything that's going on, but it would be good to have a good dialogue and hear what other people have to say too, so we can find some type of common ground and understanding and everything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Kelly, okay, you're still on there. Hey, sister, we got the link right here. Just click it. Let's just talk. Let's just have a respectful talk. And if there's something you disagree with BJ about, I'm sure you guys can talk about it on here and whatnot. That's what this platform is all for. If you feel like you got to leave, I understand. But, we welcome your presence, and just click the link. Actually, I'm going to put it right here on the thing real quick. And boom. And that's for you, Kelly. So just tap it in. Speak your thoughts or lose your mind. You know what it is. Okay. So I just saw this. So before we do that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. We've already reached 40 minutes. Okay. So a quick commercial break. And, during that time, I would love for Kelly Allmarker to hop up on here, so we'll be back in just a minute.
On your hair. My favorite has got to be the peppermint mist leave-in conditioner. It's so soothing to your scalp. I've had dry, itchy scalp, and I tell you, it's amazing.
My favorite product with Jay's Butter is the natural flaxseed elixir, especially on the hair that's not mine.
Y'all know what? I really love Jay's Butter. I love Jay's Butter.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Royce the Voice, and I just want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Kevin Lambert, aka the Cell Phone Guy. Now has a new website at www.tncellphoneguy.com. He will turn your phone from hell to heaven. He's open 24/7. He'll have your phone done in about 30 to 45 minutes, an hour at the most. There's no other guy that I would rather call locally. It's Kevin Lambert. So y'all make sure y'all check him out, all right? He will turn your phone from hell to heaven. www.tncellphoneguy.com.
G Street Quick Draw Gun Magnet. Unlike the competitor who imitated and sell similar products with more expensive prices, G Street Gun Magnet Mount is specially designed and engineered to provide you the safest and most convenient experience.
Do you want to access your guns quickly in case of emergency? Do you feel safe in your car and at home? Do you want to be able to hold your guns for any different situation? After our research, we have redefined our gun magnet mount for the market to solve any complaints from gun fans. We have designed and redesigned our magnet mounts, which is made from premium, eco-friendly material, excellent craft, unique appearance with quick draw and quick load functions, and hold flat surface firearms safely and secure.
Order your G Street Quick Draw Gun Magnet today with free delivery at gstreetedc.square.site.
Look, I suggest that you fall in line and show me my respect. I'm the best. None of y'all a threat. This is not a test. I'm upset. Come around here, I'll make you stand on all your threats.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Royce the Voice, Orange Click, Orange Leader. Shout out to K-Team, Speak Your Thoughts or Lose Your Mind. Shout out to Frank Johnson. Shout out to Christian Davenport, Jamie Moorhead, Jeff Damron in the building. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. And y'all guys continue to share. And yeah, let's try to get up to these 50 shares because, like I said, we're getting ready to, announce the winner on Thursday after we skim through all of these people for a free weekend at the Plantation Ponderosa. You dig what I'm saying by my boy Herschel Williams, aka Dr. Anatomy, in the prescription, man. You have 30 plus acres of land, jet skis, horses. You dig what I'm saying? Lakes. I know ain't nobody gonna be swimming in the lake, you know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Homemade breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. He has his, his own helper in there to fix up the house and fix up the food, and you even get some free counseling sessions by Dr. Anatomy on relationships, your marriage, or anything like that. It's a good guy, and I know he clowns a lot, you know what I'm saying, on the on the show, but this brother is a very intelligent brother when you have him sit down, when he sits down with you in his office and he speaks on some real topics that I feel that can really help out any problems that you maybe have in your relationship. So don't get it twisted on the show. Dr. Anatomy really is the truth on this, and he is giving his bed and breakfast away for free for a weekend of your choice. So let's continue to do these 50 shares for every show, and we randomly pick people once a month to do these things. All right, so welcome back to the show. Once again, this is called This Is America. Thank you for everybody that's tuning in. See, Walter says the police was investigated back in 2009, and the findings showed white supremacists have infiltrated the police departments across America. This was in 2009. I do recall reading something like that. Kelly Allmarker said, I truly appreciate your offer, but I'm nursing a sick child right now. I'll check back in when this ends to check out the conversation. That's what's up, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you doing that. Please continue to check in, and we'd love to hear, some of your comments or whatnot. Brenda Cray said maybe that is why they wanted to divide the races even more. All right, so if we would like to bring in BJ and Lady G, I actually have a question I want to ask both of them just to see where they're coming from on this one, man. All right, you guys here? Y'all back in? Y'all good?
I'm here.
Okay, that's what's up. So let me ask you guys a question. It's probably two questions in one, but we'll start with Lady G. I guess the first question I would ask for both of you, do you feel that the media is playing a big part of this. What are your thoughts on the media first, as far as pushing these narratives?
I think that the media holds a lot of culpability in how widespread this has become, especially the social media platforms. It's as though they let the feeding frenzy get to its boiling point, and now that there has been death and a lot of property damage, and there are Senate and House leaders who are gunning for people, who are have reminded everybody about that executive order that the Trumpanzee signed that was targeted at Black Lives Matter protesters, that would give you an automatic 10 if you stepped over that line. Well, now you've got 1,000 plus people from his own party who are guilty of it. So now the media is either backing away or they're lambasting him, and the protesters, well, the rioters, for their bad behavior. But they've been doing this all along. In some cases, I feel like they glamorize the conflict. And as you said earlier, I think they do it to get a rise out of Black people, because we are always good entertainment and ratings. So I think it's really I'm very dubious where they're concerned, because they helped create the monster. Now they want to condemn it, and you can't have it both ways.
I hear that. And BJ, how do you feel as far as what the media what the media has been doing in the last quarter of the year and starting this year?
With the media, they got a tough job anyway, and that's the thing. We seen what happened on the 6th. We had reporters being attacked, cameramen being attacked. You're a member of the media yourself.
Yeah.
It's a job that comes. It's a double-edged sword. Where do you draw the line at between First Amendment and hate speech? I mean, who does that? I mean, who gets to set that bar? As far as the United States goes, the only people who get to do that is the Supreme Court. We don't get to make that decision. But at the same time, though, you get people like Zuckerberg and people like that have to testify in front of Congress, and he doesn't really have the answer, because if he censors one group, then they're going to say, well, why didn't you censor this group? You let Antifa, you let BLM, you let any other group, have these rallies, marches, everything else. You give them the time, but you're not letting the Parler group or the QAnon or whatever. But it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and that's what and here's a fair question. You know what I'm saying? This is where I become like the middleman. You know what I'm saying? A fair question here. Why do you feel that Trump's media sources, i.e., Twitter, have been blocked, but excluding other candidates or president-elects and stuff like other officials? Why do you feel that that's a one-sided thing? What do you feel is going on right there?
Well, his words he's got a cult following of over 7 million people. And if he has access and can feed them, keep feeding them this divisive vitriol, what are they going to do next? How much farther are they willing to take it? I mean, they were beating police officers with crutches and canes and flagpoles. What happens next? Had it not been for Officer Eugene Moorhead, that group would have been right there on the Senate floor. If he hadn't had the wherewithal to keep their anger directed at him and led them away from that open door right into the Senate. How much farther are they willing to take this? They really didn't get, okay, there were 6 people that died. 2 were officers. One guy shocked himself to death. 2 died because of other health related issues. And then the young lady that got shot when she tried to force her way through the broken door into the house of, onto the floor.
Yeah.
Okay. That is nothing compared to the violence and the reaction that BLM and other groups get from the police. So if they still have that access, if he still has a medium to feed his minions, how much farther will he be willing to push them? He's already approached that precipice. Is he willing to get there on the edge and say, go for it? I mean, he didn't even condemn the fact that Mike Bannon was calling to have Dr. Fauci's head put on a pike out in front of the White House. So how much farther is he willing to let things go? And I really think that they're worried about criminal liability, because that's a big thing. Mark Zuckerberg has already gotten sued numerous times. They're trying to break up his monopoly. He's got to be careful on what he's doing. So they're running scared because they didn't realize how far he was willing to go.
So, BJ, how do you feel about the blocking of Trump's social media outlets and stuff like that? Are you in agreement with that? Do you feel that was the right thing to do, or does that violate things that he has the freedom to say? Does it pose a threat when he stays on? Like, what are your thoughts also?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it'd be different if it was based on the truth. What he's, that's the thing. Like, I'm not a fact checker. I'm not any of those things, but I know where to go to find facts.
Gotcha.
And I can go to unbiased sources, do my own research, and be like, yeah, this guy's full of crap. That's not what happened. So when he sits there and he perpetuates this lie, and it riles these people up, and then it causes violence and even death, then yeah, that's a dangerous situation, and that has to be handled, and that is something that has to be censored. There's a real thin line between terrorist and revolutionist.
Okay.
And there's also a thin line, but it goes back to the saying, history is written by the victors. But at the same time, though, when you go look back at history of all these revolutionists, they had a clear-cut idea of what they were fighting. And like we know, like you go back to Nazi Germany. Okay, the Jews didn't control all the banks and all the money, and they didn't cause disease. They didn't do any of that stuff. But it was a rallying point for the Nazi Party. And I don't want to I'm not going to go as far as call Trump a Nazi. But I mean, what he's doing is right out of the playbook of Mein Kampf.
So are you speaking on those incidents that happened like in the early 1930s and stuff, as far before Hitler came into power? You know what I'm saying? I think he was the chancellor at that time. I'm trying to think of what you were speaking of, that incident that happened when one of those buildings had caught on fire. You know what I'm talking about? What kind of led to his? Is that what you're speaking on?
Yeah, and they tried to blame the Jews for it. Yeah. I mean, I mean, they've always been the scapegoat in Europe.
Yeah.
Well, they've been the scapegoat throughout the world. I
Yeah.
mean.
So let me ask this then, because it kind of like, see, this is, I guess this is once again a middle question, so to speak. Are there limits to the First Amendment when they do say freedom of speech, right? Is that really freedom of speech? Like, is that saying that you can say anything you want to say, or anything you want to say under a few conditions? Like what is your intake? Because there's a lot of people like they come in my inbox and they're like, and I wish that they would come on, because y'all come in my inbox a lot, and it would be good for me not to be the middleman to some of your questions, but I have to bring a middle ground here to have some open dialogue. But some say it's like, well, that violates the First Amendment, so to speak. Do you agree with that? Like I said, does the First Amendment come with you can say whatever you want under whatever condition? Like, how do y'all feel about that?
Free speech has conditions. You can't incite insurrection. You cannot speak to the point that it causes someone else to go and take another person's life. I mean, freedom isn't free. Somebody had to fight for that freedom. So freedom of speech has limitations. You cannot cause an insurrection. You cannot precipitate violence. How is that free speech? I mean, just look on Facebook. A gentleman came in my inbox and he made all kind of nasty, racially disparaging remarks to me. Well, when I snapped back at him, I got put in Facebook jail. And he was using profanity. He was using racial slurs. All I told him that, he could take his inbred trailer park trash off my Facebook page, because I wasn't my ancestors and I wouldn't stand him for it. And they said I was being a bully. So, come on, really? Freedom of speech is not free. You have to guard your words because in this case, with Donald Trump, words carry dire consequences.
So especially when it comes from the leader of the free world.
Okay. So there's been, and this is another thing that I've noticed too. Which one of the things that I have to say that I do like living in America for these particular reasons right here. Even though they have pretty much canceled his Twitter, so to speak, the American people, his supporters, they have other apps out there like Parler and MeWe. I was just reading up on that the other day, and I was like, man, it made me think for a minute. I was like, man, how did that many people get there at that particular time? And I had to wonder, I was like, well, they definitely weren't talking on Twitter or Facebook or anything. Like, they have these other apps, you know what I'm saying, that these developers and stuff make that are not really as regulated as Twitter and Facebook, Instagram, YouTube are. And, they're finding other means to, to communicate. Which, I mean, I think, to me, I think that's all good. You know what I'm saying? Do what you have to do. But what this is what I'm concerned with right here. I just hope that right now that the people that have their eyes open see what's going on, because here's one thing I know, you guys, that I cannot change, and that is people's minds about how they feel about me, you, the president, anybody else. I can't change any of that. I really can't help them see what's really going on. I can't convince them. I can't. They have to be able to be receptive of the things around them and be humble enough to be like, okay, this is right, or okay, this is wrong. Let me do something about it. But my main thing for coming on tonight really was to, send a message, to those who feel like that there is, there's some people that feel like that it's a one-sided thing. I'm particularly one of them, to be honest with you. That word racism and racist is a strong word, and it can be terminalized in so many ways. Everybody has their own definition of what it is. When we speak on systemic and systematic racism, that's a conversation that can go on and on and on and on. And sometimes it makes you wonder, okay, are you really trying to understand this, or are you really just kind of stuck in your ways and not seeing what the real truth is? But one thing that I feel that is truly obvious right now is that there's definitely a divide going on. I do feel that the media is pushing a divide. But at the same time, along with what the media is doing, I really feel like beyond that media manipulation, there's also like another message to our Black and brown community, and by saying that we can do this and you guys can't. That's just coming from me, I really feel like they're really trying to spark some type of retaliation, and that's why I guess I'm saying I'm just really surprised right now that we're not retaliating like we used to. I hear people from on the Trump side, as far as the Trump supporters, is like, well, what are you guys doing? You guys should be out here fighting with us for your freedom. They're taking all our freedoms away and stuff like that. And that's the question I'm getting to you for both of you guys. When Trump supporters speak on something like that, let's leave let's leave the racist talk out the way. Let's all the bigotry and stuff like that. Let's tend to what they're saying. Do you feel that Trump supporters are people who really fight for the rights of America? It's anybody can answer.
Well, I don't see them fighting for my rights.
Okay.
Because nothing they are really fighting for is anything that, you said leave race out of it, but people who look like me still don't have the freedoms that they do in 2024, 2021. I mean, there are certain things that I can't do that my best friend Jennifer can do. So as far as they're fighting for my rights, I've had Trump people tell me that we're still only 3/5 a person. So when you're out there fighting and you're marching, the principles that you're fighting and marching for do not align with my moral code. So I don't feel that I'm being represented in anything that they're doing. And that might be short-sighted on my part, but I've lived here, a couple of days in a wake up, and I have never seen where I am included in the equation.
And I can actually vouch for you on that, especially even all the way down to a local level. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the talks and the speeches and meetings that we have and the stuff that they bring up on a dry erase board, anything like that. I have noticed that it really doesn't include everybody. And some people would come to me and be like, well, they seem to make it this one thing. It's like, well, what is it? Why are black people always, black and brown people always talking about like them? Like, why do they feel like that they're being left out? But honestly, the proof is in the pudding. When you see on their bullet points, there's nothing that involves us, nothing that it involves what's going on in our communities and stuff like that. And then on a grander scale, honestly, I would have to look on both sides to be like, well, even on the Democrat side and even on the Republican side, in a long time, I haven't seen where there was a specific thing for the black community. And not to leave anything out, but we've been left out for a mighty long time. Plenty of generations. People would say the Civil Rights, Act settled everything, but if we dig a little deeper, we find out that that's not true. So, I'm speaking for the black community, brown community, lower income communities, to the people that can't see that. Only reason why you can't see it is because honestly, you haven't lived it and you haven't taken the chance to go into those communities or get to know those people and understand what's really going on that's not being spoke about. And I meant to bring that question to you too, BJ, as far as what Lady G was speaking on. Did you want me to repeat the question, or you pretty much got it?
No, I got it.
Okay.
I mean, when you go back and look at it, there's no, if it was built on truth, if there was one, shred of truth about, the vote being stolen, them, shredding ballots, a grand conspiracy, to get Joe Biden elected, all these different things. Mm-hmm. If that was true, then, hey, I'd be right there with them. I would, not a violent protest, by no means, don't take that,
Yeah, I feel
yeah. But I mean, they would have my support. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be like, yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah.
But like, we know that didn't happen. And that's just wasn't because it was spoon fed to us from the media. Like, we have people, that these are Republicans, these are conservatives that are saying, hey, we were there. We watched the vote being counted. We helped run the machinery. And nothing out of the ordinary happened. But we have a president that's calling the Secretary of State in Georgia, trying to pressure him like a mob boss, saying, hey, look, man, I need 11,780 votes. Make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't care where you get them from. Find them under the couch. Do something. Mm-hmm. And, and like you was talking about with words words always have a lot, especially when it's coming from somebody at that position as the president.
Gotcha.
And going back to the free speech question, in the First Amendment and everything else, does it have limitations? Absolutely. Like, you can't say anything that's liable. You can't say anything that's slanderous. You can't do anything. And what they were talking about was inciting a riot against and trying to overthrow the government. That's actually punishable by death in the United States. Like, all jokes aside, like, they can take you outside and put one in the back of your head. For doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I agree with
like
that.
they don't play about that.
I agree with
Like,
that.
you try to incite a riot in the United States and overthrow our government. We got something for you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a friend up in North Carolina. He's a veteran, and he was sitting around in a social setting at a bar with some of his buddies, and he's a white guy. And he said, and Trump was talking all of this ish about this and that and the other, and he's like, why don't they just take him out and put a bullet in the back of his head? 3 days later, he got a knock on his door. You can't threaten the president. You can't say certain things. It's an FCC violation. If it's enforced, if I call you on your cell phone and I curse you out and I make threats against you, if you report it and somebody wants to push it, I can lose all phone and internet privileges. I can't have nobody in my home can possess a phone or a computer where I could have access to it. I mean, the Constitution even gives limitations on what you can and cannot say. So if the FCC and the Constitution say, no, you just can't say whatever you want to say, I don't understand why the far right cultists don't get it.
Well, these people were so lucky. I mean, and I mean that with my, wholeheartedly. They were so lucky because legally and everything else. I mean, you seen what happened to that woman.
Yeah.
She, it's sad that she lost her life. But at the same time, though, anybody, the Brenda Craigs or anybody else in the comment section, do me a favor. Go to Washington, D.C. and take a tour of the White House. When you go past the door of the big long hallway that leads to the West Wing,
yes,
take off running.
You will
Bust
be
through the
shot down like
barricade.
a dog.
Bust through the barricade and take off. I'm talking about just like, just as quick as you can. And see how far you get.
You get some hot stuff in your behind. That's what happens.
And
I went to the Pentagon as someone with a top secret clearance, and I had to go to the bathroom. I left the office that we were working in. I went to go to the bathroom. I made a wrong turn down the wrong hall. The next thing I knew, I was being screamed at, guns drawn, get on the ground, where's your ID, who are you? And I'm like, look, I'm just trying to go to the bathroom. I'm not trying to steal no top secret stuff. I was like, come on, guys, really? They are serious about that.
And I hear that. Hold on. Shout out to Ida Parsons, AJ Holman, Thomas Sheffield, Alicia Wigfall. What's up, Alicia? Winning Millennials. You know what I'm saying? Podcast Maps. You know what I'm saying? In the building all the way from Baltimore. She's seeing the smoke from the sky too up around there, man. She's closer than all of us right now, man.
Winnie.
Yeah, what up? Yeah, I know, right? But let me say this though. Let me say this. Okay, so I hear what Brenda Craig's saying. I'm looking at a new friend of the family in here, Connie Edgar. I know Connie Edgar was asking, what is it that you can't do? And this is okay. So I'm sticking to, because we can go on a whole history about what's not being allowed to happen or what we can't do. But speaking of this particular situation, and this, I feel, I ain't gonna say it could just answer everybody's question, but okay. I mean, I see in the comments that we're talking about, talking about the claims that you have. Okay, I see people are talking about, the voting frauds and all this stuff like that, and those are people's reasons on why they were storming the Capitol. Like, but this is what I'm talking about right here, and this only reason, if I can just get everybody to see on here, like if we can agree on one thing.
Can I say something? I see
Go ahead.
Yeah, my clearance wasn't good enough to get in the West Wing and walk up in the Oval Office with the president. Just to address that. So
when the president came to Fort Bragg, I had the honor of singing in front of 3 presidents. They vetted everybody that came into that venue where we were. I mean, there were people who were in there that while we were in there having the changes command ceremony for General Luck, they were coming in there tapping people on the shoulder, whispering in their ear, and they were escorting them out. We didn't know why, but they were escorting people out of the building. And these were former presidents who were there. Now, can you imagine if a sitting president had been there? I mean, it's even if I had a top secret with a special background investigation, and there were still things I could not see and I could not go to be privy to. So, I mean, come on. I don't understand why that would even be asked. You have to have special permission to go near the president.
Yeah, and that's the thing I'm speaking of, right? Shout out to Jen Cooper also. This is what I'm saying to Brenda, to Connie, to all the people that it's like trying to say, okay, what is you can and can't do? Okay. Speaking particularly on this thing, from what BJ said, from what Gina was saying, and everybody else, as far as the security of one of the supposedly the most secured area in the world. We're talking about the nation's capital. We're talking about the Pentagon to the Capitol building to the White House, all the above, everything that's around it, the no-fly zone areas, checkpoints everywhere. Like, there has not been, I've heard so many things on History Channel, Discovery Channel, and they had shows about the security here and our Secret Service men and everything's, just all on point and everything. All I'm speaking of is an example right here is what I'm saying. What we couldn't have done. Black people, brown people, the minorities would never have or didn't have the bravery. I don't want to say that word of saying that they should have been up there, but we knew that if it was a different turnout, it would have been a different turnout. If you know what I'm saying, that's what we're saying that we can't do. Like, we don't have that kind of bravery to where we feel like nothing is going to happen to us, Brenda, and to Connie. That's what we can't do. And the proof was in the pudding, whether it was media manipulation showing us or just showing us, period, the consequences, lack thereof, of making a breach like that. You would have been shot and killed because you're heading to you're breaking in an area where there are state, national ambassadors, senates, state reps, possibly the president. Who knows who could have been in there? You have the House, you have the Speaker of the House. Regardless of what side they're on, their safety was being compromised, right? So it's like, yeah, that's what we mean when we say what we can and can't do. That's just a small fraction. I'm just speaking on this particular subject.
Hey, Royce, can I hold on just for just 1 second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, I can't let that slide. Okay, Brenda Craig, I honorably served my country. I'm an honorably discharged, 100% service-connected disabled veteran from the U.S. Army. So please don't bring my service to my country into question.
Amen.
I appreciate you working for the military for 29 years. I'm a combat veteran from the U.S. Army. Do not bring my love and sacrifice of this country on here. Because believe me, lady, you don't want to go there.
Amen.
I just throw that out.
Amen.
All right, I mean that was no, that's cool. That was said what was said, man. And that's all.
But I mean, Royce, just think about it. Not only did you have the vice president elect in the building, you had the sitting vice president, you had the next two in line to replace the president, the Speaker of the House. I mean, come on, really? Really? You had the next four people in line for two of the highest offices in the land in that one building. So, really?
Yeah, I mean, that's just common sense. I mean, I mean, I feel you, Brenda. But listen, Brenda, like, I'm just simplifying it down to what can and can't be done, what happened and what would have happened if certain people were there. And Walter brought up a good thing too, as an example. This was in the mid to late 60s. The Black Panthers showed up, with their guns legally, and Reagan changed the law so fast they moved the goalposts when it comes to us. And that's the point that I'm trying to say to Brenda, to Connie, and stuff like that. This was even in the '60s. This was in California when the Black Panthers were marching.
That's why
up to that
California
Capitol.
has some of the strictest
The
gun laws.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're trying to say. That's all. I mean, that's just a small fraction of the laws that are changed when minorities try to make some type of constitutional legal move. Like the Black Panthers were moving in the right direction. They were following the law. They read the law. And then when they utilized the law was changed. And that's what I'm speaking of. You know what I'm saying? At least when it says, Royce, we know what would have happened. It already happened. They tear gassed them, rubber bullets back in June. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? We seen the evidence just going back 6 months ago. We can go back to 2012, and I don't want to go all the way back to the 60s because everybody knows all that stuff that happened or whatnot. But it's still happening now, and what I would like to say, and yeah, is that we need our own communities for our few generations. And this is what I'm going to slick kind of end on right here in a sense. And I would like to get both of y'all's input, you know what I'm saying? But we have had plenty of conversations on this show, on other shows that I watch and stuff like that. And there's only a certain amount of ways and times that you can approach a city, state, national government about things that are needed in our communities and stuff like that. I would like to know how y'all felt that after so long of maybe not being heard or tended to or listened to as far as what needs to be done, would you blame minorities for working on their own communities and building from there?
Why shouldn't we?
Okay.
Basically, if our communities were a priority, things would have been enacted long before now. If we were a part of something, if we were significant or seen as significant, it wouldn't have to be for us, by us. The government would have seen to those things from word go. We can take it back to, everybody was talking about last year was the 100th year anniversary of women getting the vote, of the suffrage. That was suffrage for white women. Black women still could not vote. So when you talk about inroads, people need to go back and they need to grab a history book and they need to see the addendums and they need to look at the fine print, because just because they say we have a freedom, that doesn't mean all of us have that freedom. And if, like I say again, if Black communities were of importance to white legislators and lawmakers, we wouldn't have to be out there beating the bushes and knocking heads figuratively with our legislators to address the Black agenda. Because the white agenda is being addressed on a daily basis, and it does not include us. Point of fact, BJ brought it up to me because I get so sick of our local mayor and the shenanigans that are pulled here. Well, there's been a flooding issue in the Black and the lower class, white class community here in Franklin County for the last 5 or 6 years. It's gotten systemically worse. Well, there was some flooding now over in the more affluent white side of town, and they're talking about bringing in FEMA. BJ can tell you, he and I have been talking to them steady for the last year. They finally told me don't bring it up again in a mayor and alderman meeting, because every time I went there, I wanted to know what they were doing about the flooding over on the Black and lower income side of town. Well, now the other side of town is having issues, and now they're talking about going back and addressing FEMA to get them to come in now. But you mean 4 or 5 years, people get their homes getting flooded out? That wasn't a priority? But Mr. Charlie Plantation is having problems, and you're going to bring in FEMA to address that.
And I would definitely consider that. That would be an example right there. I'm gonna go to BJ before I kind of answer this on my own, because I want to answer Lisa's question. That's a good question, Lisa.
Yeah, I don't want to see, you know, the POC and the black community give up on us. And I really mean that. Like, I think that it's, you know, I'm a white male, you know, I don't really get, you know, that's not my place. I don't get to say or make any decisions like that. Mm-hmm. But what I can tell you, what I do, and what I'm calling on everybody else to do, all these people in the comments, is when you see somebody saying something that's not true, call it out. When you see somebody doing something wrong and, you know, hurting somebody, or, you know, because words, you know, they can, you know, hurt. Call it out. Like, literally, like, hey, are we on the local radio station now?
On what, WCDT?
Yeah.
We're on our page, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm about to say it. Okay, I'm trying to be, yeah.
All right, so, man, I've been talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the thing of it is, just don't be a dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally that easy. Like, be real, be true, and don't be a dick to people. Like, you know, call it out. Say, you know, like, don't let them, when they start spouting off these things like the election was, you know, fraudulent and all these different things, or they start, you know, taking in groups and minorities and things like that and start, you know, belittling them. Call that out. When you see bad things happen, say something. And when we all do that, we'll make this a better community. But we can't be letting these people get away with this stuff. Like, you can't be an elected official or a person in power and be spouting off, you know, crazy conspiracy theories. Because, yeah, you're going to catch some backlash on that. And it's rightfully done. I mean, it should be done. Like, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that without repercussions. And that goes back to that First Amendment thing. Mm-hmm. Like, you can do it. You can say whatever the hell you want to say.
Yeah.
But you're going to get called out on it.
And I feel that, man. And what I'm going to do, guys, I do appreciate you guys coming on and stuff. I know I said this was going to be, you know, a little shorter and all that, because I kind of wanted to end with a few things that were on my mind or whatever to close all of this. But, you know, I do appreciate, you know what I'm saying, you guys, you know, coming on. And oh God, he's just shooting people, bro. Like, come on, bro. I'm too light skinned for all that. I'm playing, but yeah, Josh always throw me off, bro. But I like it though. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys' input and stuff like that. You know, and I do want to bid you two guys, you know, a good evening and whatnot, and thank you for your continued support and, you know, just speaking your thoughts, whether people disagree or not. It's just always good to have a good dialogue. And we're gonna go ahead and let you guys go, man. And I want to answer to some of these comments and stuff like that. And
we appreciate you, man.
Hey, man, it's
Thank
not
you
a thing,
so
man.
much, dear.
All
Thank
right,
you so much.
Y'all be good, man, for sure.
Oh yeah.
You too.
Alrighty. All right. What's up, everybody? You know what I'm saying? I told y'all this wasn't going to be too long of a show, but at least I left some of this time open because, you know, I gotta get my rant on real quick, you know, and I'm gonna try to keep up with the time that I do this. But I did want to, before I do that, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break, and then I'm gonna speak my thoughts and lose my mind, and then be up out this mug. All right, so y'all sit tight, y'all share in the meantime, and we'll be back after these messages.
What's up, ladies? It's your girl Cynthia Bailey from The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I got some good news. Dorbin Salon is back open. I know if you guys are like me, you see I have these braids over here. It's been a struggle during the pandemic. So Dorbin Salon is back open. They sell hair, they do hair, they deliver whatever you need. They got you, boo-boo. Okay? Make sure you guys go show some love and go get your hair done.
Hey everybody, Eddie George here. I just want to encourage you to shop at local small businesses like Dollar City in Nashville, Tennessee, your neighborhood convenient dollar store providing various brands and different products. They need your support. We got to go support them during times like these. Check them out. They do an exceptional job. Support our small businesses. Thank you.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Check it out. It's free.
What?
And we like free.
No way.
And they also have tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Okay.
Anchor will do all the work for you.
Nah.
So it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other media outlets.
What?
You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. What up, everybody? It's your boy Royce the Voice, Orange Click, Orange Leader. Shout out to K-Team. Speak your thoughts or lose your mind. And everything's so tight around here. If y'all could see what it looks like around here, you wouldn't want to. But anyway, yeah, shout out to Walter. Shout out to Herschel, to Josh, to Gina Mitchell, BJ, Brenda Craig, Jen Cooper, Sheffield, Delicia Wigfall, Lise. More people. I'm saying, okay, let me just go through all here and whatnot real quick. I just want to get my shout outs out of the way. Thank y'all for continuing to share. You know what I'm saying? This has been a great thing. Yeah, Ida Parsons or Ida. I'm gonna say Ida. All right, I'm gonna say that. Don't hurt me. Summer Cruz, Jeff Darman, Jamie Moorhead, Christian Davenport, Frank Johnson, Angela Sorrell. Shout out to Angela Sorrell. Sorrell, hey, holla at us, man. Real, you know what I'm saying? Holla at us on on the other end, man. We on some business stuff like that, man. Let's see what you got going on. But anyway, so while everybody's still on, I want to answer just a couple of questions. I wanted to go back to Lisa's question. She said, we should always work in our communities, but what does that mean, Royce Massengill? What are you really asking? Oh, I love it when you just be direct with me, because I've been working on just being like, hey, this is what I'm saying. All right, so what I'm saying, Lisa, is that, yeah, true, we should always work on our communities. But the truth is that's not what's happening in the Black communities. Not to say that, let me take that back. I'm not trying to say that other Black communities are not working on their communities. But I know as far as here in Tullahoma, Tennessee, there is a lack thereof. In our Black communities here in Tullahoma, Tennessee, we have kind of just been like, oh well, okay, this too shall pass. We don't really put any, work or effort. But there's been, stories and histories and stuff like that in Tullahoma in the Black communities when something needed to be done and the administration was not tending to those problems. Black people took it into their own hands, made something happen for something to happen. Does that make any sense? So let's just say, like, for instance, let's just say there's just a bridge that needs to be fixed, right? And the bridge is kind of made out of wood, right? And let's just say the wood has been deteriorating and it could be dangerous to drive across, or you'll fall into that creek. And let's just say that you brought it to the city's attention. And let's just say that the city just said, okay, we're going to get to it, but then they don't get to it. And let's just say, well, the bridge just so happened to catch on fire. And now you have no choice but to fix the bridge because it's become a problem. I'm not saying that happened. I'm just saying, sometimes, you have to take matters in your own hands to get stuff done. It hates that we have to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you be you, FUBU, for us, by us. And so let me say, a lot of people, Walter, a lot of people come in my inbox, they're always like, what is up with this man? You know what I'm saying? But like, what I gotta say to people out there is like, you really could not understand unless you were in the Black community shoes on why we speak, how we speak. It's hard for you to understand unless you've been in those types of situations. Even growing up in those type of situations, we're talking about, my father and my grandfather and stuff like that. What they grew up in was totally different from where you grew up in. I'm pretty sure you guys are in the same generation. There was a difference, and we all know that there was a difference. And then upon generations and more generations, some people are still in that particular situation. Down here in Tullahoma Villages, I know people that I grew up with that lived there, that now that we're older, they still live there. You know what I'm saying? And I want to bring awareness, and this is not excluding anybody else out in Tullahoma, but there is a problem in the Black community. And one of my efforts is to uplift our Black community into taking pride in where you're at. Hopefully we can bring some resources around here to educate, you know, these communities that may not know what's going on around them. Because what I've learned in these last few days is just a lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? A lack of knowledge is detrimental, you know, if you simply just don't know what's going on around you. And our city officials have said there are things available like that, and some people say, well, you got to seek for it. But my rebuttal to that is, how do you know what to seek for if you don't know what to seek for? You may know what you want, but then you don't know where to go to, you know, to find it or where to seek it. And it's just a call out to all of our city officials to make yourself be seen in these communities that may not know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually, and this is just over history as we've seen this, like, if our communities do not feel like they're being tended to or they're being heard, they will take matters in their own hands to where the city has no choice but to get things done. Okay, CD stamps history from our swimming pools and our courts and stuff like that. We can talk all day about what money's here and what money's not, but there's always seems to be money that comes out of nowhere for something else. And we can argue about that all day, but the thing is, nothing still happens at the end of the day. Now, you know, that's all we're really saying. Not trying to make this a black or white thing. It's making it that way itself based on the systematic situation that's been going on here for years. For years. You know, that's all we're saying. At least I'm saying, how does insurrection equal black people? We got to do better. You gotta get me a Highlights Kid magazine so I can connect the dots. I kid, but I'm serious. No, I know you're saying, how does insurrection equal black people? We got to do better. All right, so here's the thing, Lise. Here's my answer to that. Instead of just saying black people, we got to do better, I don't think I said that. But if I meant that, if I said that in any type of way, I'll go back to it. Yeah, we got to do better. We do have to do better in our communities. But there are a lack of resources in our communities that other communities have. There are a lack of things to be known on what to do in our communities that are in other communities. Like, you know how some of those things where you just find out information from probably some of your other counterparts. I'm like, yeah, well, did you know there's this thing here? Like, no, I didn't know anything about that. Well, how did you know about it? You know what I'm saying? In our black communities here in Tullahoma, it's two things. One of them is we have a serious drug problem. You know, people are overdosing, people are dying. There can be a conspiracy on, you know, why that's happening, but, you know, we understand the whole drug game and everything that's going on, but it is tearing up our communities. Definitely is. We have community centers here in our black communities, community centers that lack the knowledge I feel that the community needs, such as Black History, which I don't think Black History should be just 1 month out of the year. It should be celebrated the whole year. You know, we need some things like that down on the south end of town through CD stamps, where we're celebrating Black History, a room that is catered to that, because Black history is American history, and that true history needs to be told, because we have kids and we have parents that have a lack thereof knowledge of Black history. Therefore, they don't have too much pride on what they've done in their past to propel their future. You know, a lack of knowledge, real talk. Brenda Gregg says, Walter Hampton, I agree. That is what empowers people like that. They don't want to be challenged. My thoughts say it like it is. If I am wrong, I am being enough to admit it. No shame. I appreciate that, Brenda Gregg. That's what's up. But my whole cry and everybody else is basically to solve this situation. It's like, hey, it's not, hey, look at us over here. Look at us over here. Favor us over everybody else. No, it's just like, there has nothing really been done. A lot of stuff has been taken away, and history is being deteriorated in our Black communities. And I'm going to say specifically here in Tullahoma. And everybody can speak for themselves in other areas and stuff, but we definitely need some reconstruction. Yes, there's going to have to be some Black men and women that have their mind together and can see beyond the gilded vision that we have in our communities and reach out and help somebody. You know, we do need to bring resources in there that's going to educate our minorities and in these lower communities, because it's not being done by our city officials. And that's just keeping it real right there. You know what I'm saying? I understand everything that they're trying to do as far as community services and stuff like that. And that's cool. We definitely need to upkeep our communities and stuff. We definitely need to keep our streets clean and all that jazz. You know what I'm saying? Great. It's a great start. But I don't want it to stop from there. I don't want to say just picking up things is going to be it. You know, there's got to be more to it. We have to really tap in to what's really happening in our communities. Why is there this big drug epidemic going on here in Tullahoma, Tennessee? Why are people dying? Why are people killing each other? Why are they overdosing? What's up with some of these programs with rehabilitation? It just seems like people go to rehabilitation and come back out worse. A lot of these rehabilitation places are in places where drug people can go in the back door and still sell the same stuff. Is it a money-making scheme? Do you really want to fix these people? Do you want to continue to keep people in jail so you can keep getting checks for every person that's in jail? Do you want to keep putting these kids in special ed classes, which I've taught for a couple of years, and getting money for that, and then lead them to the prison pipeline because it's really a discipline issue more than an educational issue? Their lack of discipline in their home environment is what's affecting their education and their chance to learn. That's proof, because I've driven plenty of these kids from school to home. Walter says we should all be willing to learn and get to know information. I have not seen one iota of voter fraud, and apparently neither has the Dems and Republicans have seen it either. If I'm wrong, please show me more than hearsay. Gina says our Senator Marshall Blackburn, whose primary platform was fighting the drug addictions and addressing the opioid crisis in Tennessee, but she's done nothing except take large donor dollars from the big pharma companies. Yes, somebody look at that, read that. Christian Davenport says there was one that I've seen. Okay, she got us a link. Fox News Politics, voter fraud, Okay, so you know, I encourage everybody to do their proper research on that. And I hope I answered your question to that. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So yes, black people, we do got to do better. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to tap into all the things that we need to do, because out of all due respect, you know, there just comes a time where you have to talk amongst yourselves, you know, and that's just to be honest, because sometimes culture just listens to culture, you know, and we have a lot that we need to work on, you know, if we're going to be this whole community that everybody says that they want. Well, the people in certain communities that need something done, we have to come within ourselves and figure out ways to move strategically. And I mean, and that's all I'll say about that, to be honest with you. Okay. What I do want to close on is, you know, amongst everything that's going on, you know what I'm saying, right now, the 20th is right around the corner as far as inauguration. To be honest with you, like, it don't matter to me who's in the office. You know, I have my own feelings. That's why I kind of stay in the middle, you know. I kind of stay in the middle about things like that, because there's always going to be a new president every 4 to 8 years, so to speak. I'm really just more concerned on what we can do as citizens, because I feel like it's more effective to get things done locally and statewide. I mean, faster than it can be on a federal level, on a national level. I think we should definitely just keep our eyes on people whom we elect, you know, and do some proper vetting and be more involved in these next elections during midterms, 2021 or 2022. I encourage everybody to be more involved. I encourage everybody to, you know, register to vote here in the city of Tullahoma. I want you to encourage your youth and your kids to be involved in what's going on around them. I will continue to push to our school board to incorporate Black history. However y'all need to do it, because I know a lot of people are giving me other stipulations like, well, you got to do this, you can't do that. Okay, well, however it can be done, I wish there was a way that could be done. And if it can't be done, that's why it's important for our community centers such as CD Stamps to have this type of information available for our Black community to learn about their Black history and Black Tullahoma history, to be honest. Walter, I wish that there was a hyperlink. Send that to me directly, please. Even with this one, that would never have changed the election result. Oh, okay, he's talking to. Okay, Jennifer Gray. Why is it that the fraud only attempted Trump? How did the dead mother vote? Oh, and when did she die? Okay, maybe she did absentee or by mail and died afterwards or whatever. Okay, all right. So yeah, that whole voting. There you go. See, man, you see what I'm saying, bro? My heart skipped a beat, bro. I wasn't ready for that, man. I wasn't ready. All right, so anyway, okay, this needed to be 2 hours for real, because your title got me triggered. Well, this is America. This is America. This is America. Lisa, do you want to hop on real quick? Just let me know. Just let me know. I'm gonna let you speak your thoughts and lose your mind. You know what I'm saying? You just give me the thumbs up or whatever, and I want you. If you triggered, I want you to empty the clip. However you need to empty the clip. You to that. Yeah. No. I feel you, Walter. If you want to empty the clip, Lisa, I'm gonna give you like 1 minute, while I'm talking and stuff to see if you don't have the time. Can you drop some jewels for like 10 minutes? You know what I'm saying? And because we want to hear it coming all the way from where you at, in the DMV area, you know what I'm saying? Baltimore, all that, Washington, you are right there in the thick of it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to hop in, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Come on. Just come on, But in that meantime, you know what I'm saying? While we're waiting on her, I'm long-winded as... Girl, come on. All that time. Look, see? You wasted 2 minutes right there. Come on through. We need coordinates from Baltimore. You right there in the thick of it. We need it. You dig what I'm saying? I'm just gonna let you talk. You know what I'm saying? And that can close out the show right there. This needs to be 2 hours for real. Yeah, come on through. And while we're waiting on her to come through, I want to thank everybody for sharing and all that stuff. Please continue to share because we're trying to give away this weekend. You know what I'm saying at the Plantation Ponderosa. Like I'm even jealous because I ain't even been there yet, and I want to ride the horses and stuff like that. Not ready for the jet skis. You dig what I'm saying? Tell him to send me the link. All right, we're gonna set the link right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to put it right there. Boom. There it goes. Just click that link right there. As you see it coming up. Yep, right there. Yes, and the Plantation Ponderosa, man, we're trying to give that away because I know that y'all need a weekend getaway. You feel what I'm saying? I know some people be swimming in the lakes and stuff like that when it's cold. So if y'all want to, do all that, that's on you, But it would be good to ride the horses and eat some good breakfast and have some, counseling from Dr. Anatomy. You know what I'm saying? Real tiggity. You feel what I'm saying? You don't see it. Oh, you must be in my, what are you on? See, I might have to. Oh, you must be you're on my page. You're on my page, ain't you? At least, yeah, you're on my regular page. I can tell. Cause I got all the comments coming through on here. I think I see you. Okay, I don't see it. The link. Okay. Where all the Republicans went. All right, hold on, Lise. Let me do it like this. Okay. Lise, I want you to check your you may have found it already. Let me get you to check your Facebook messages or whatever. Do I have your number, Lise? I don't know if we do. We're getting it to you though. I just jumped over. Oh, okay, you just jumped over. All right, so we're gonna send it again, and there it go, right there. You dig? Boom. Right there. Ooh, and you just posted it up on the thing. Don't get me freestyling, man. I don't want to hear that stuff. Okay. All right. So while we're waiting on Lise, once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and wasting your time with me. You dig what I'm saying? I really appreciate that, and I hope we got some questions answered. Hopefully we can go back and do some of our research, and hopefully it'll allow you guys to open up your eyes a little longer, or open you guys up eyes a little wider to what's going on. Get that 360 vision. Sometimes you got to look behind you sometimes, and to the right and to the left. Sometimes we have that tunnel vision of life, and we subconsciously ignore things sometimes. There she goes. Yes, come on in, Baltimore in the building.
Yeah, all of that.
You're rubbing your chest. I feel it. Come on, speak your thoughts.
Lamar Jackson all day.
First, tell them what you calling for. Hold on, tell them what you calling for so they'll know what's up.
I'm calling from Baltimore, Maryland.
Yes.
This is interesting. Yeah, the DMV. So the reason why your title got me triggered, because I already told you, I was like, I'm a little triggered by this. I don't know what you're saying, because I feel like it's not misleading, but I feel like it's dangerous.
Okay.
because we
okay,
just
go ahead.
we just went through this with people not believing it, and then so I feel like it almost sounds like, okay, here's a place for you to, like, Parlor shut down, so now you can come over here. Like, I just felt like that's kind of what this was.
All right,
as far as the title is concerned.
Gotcha. Although This Is America, or the description.
No, the description.
Oh, okay.
This is America. I believe that
This is
100%.
America. Yes, it is.
Yes,
but
Childish Gambino told us so.
Do you want me to explain the description? Or
I think you explained it to me when we talked.
Okay, all right. We'll leave it at that then. If they're still in it, just say it. Like, I'm here. It's all good. But just speak your mind generally. What's going on? Like,
well, I mean, I feel like we kind of glazed over a couple things. Yes, people are upset about the election, but really the root of it is deeper than that. Like, on Maps Media, we have a political apparatus, which is for the people of the people, and we have different guests. One of the guests, I'm not going to tell you who it was, but one of the guests on that show was at that insurrection.
Gotcha.
So it's not about that, and he's privileged, he's grown up educated, he has pretty much everything you could ever think of.
Yeah.
It's to me, a lot of the issues that we're seeing with what happened has to do with the fact that of change.
Okay.
Like Donald Trump, when you see somebody who becomes a leader or is able to make people do that, where they will listen to anything you say, no matter how untrue it is, you become almost like a cult-like leader. And when people are able to do that, it's because they've given you an out. So Donald Trump, they appreciate Donald Trump, not just because of his policies and all the things that he has done. It's really because they gave him a scapegoat. So your life is not where it should be because of immigrants, Black people, Antifa, that I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I've not seen it. So I don't know where they're at. But everybody's fault. But in your life, all the issues that you've ever had, they blamed it on everyone else. And so BJ said something. He was like, I don't want Black people to give up on white people. But to me, that's almost making Black people take another step. We have to extend the grace to you. That is a privilege for us to give white people a second chance and a third chance and a fourth chance and still continuously see the same things happening. I'm not one of those people that is going to say, oh, just forget about it. I think that we live in a country together. There's no way that we can live in a country and not find a way to coexist, because it just doesn't work. A house divided will not stand. It will not work. So we have to find a way to do that. Is it going to happen under Joe Biden? Probably not.
Oh, no way. It's interesting that you say that. This is cool. This is cool because you have some to say that Joe Biden is the answer to everything that's going on right now.
Well, the reason why I say this is because, first of all, it's extremely fresh. You still have Donald Trump, no matter whether some of the Republicans are jumping ship now. This is still Trump's party. It will be Trump's party for years to come until we start to get a new wave of people that either changes the game or it's a whole new set of people. Trump is not the first president like him. I mean, the last president like him. He's the first. So we will only get more outrageous political candidates as they come down the line. That's why you see people like Ted Cruz and Hawley are really doing this to step out there, because their ambitions are to run for the presidential ticket for the Republicans in the future. Whether or not the Republican Party branches off into two, I don't know, or whether or not the Democrat Party will branch off into two. We will just have to wait and see. But I don't think, because of all the craziness that's going on, Joe Biden is not going to be able to bring these two sides together. He not under a one-term president. It's not going to happen. He's going to try, but it's not going to happen. It's not enough time.
Okay, I got you. Oh, yeah, that's true too. So let me ask you this. This is what would you have to say to people who feel like that Trump is not I've recently, just right now in my inbox, somebody was telling me, they were saying that he said it's not like Trump. It's not like Trump is telling people to go out here and do these things and riot and be racist and stuff like that. Like, where is the evidence where Trump says that he tells people to go out and chastise black people, call them names, or give out racist, racist acts and all of that stuff? It's a bunch of jumbled. I can't read all of that. But what would you have to say to people who have that rebuttal of saying, where is everybody getting this thing where Trump is a racist, where Trump is a racist and telling people to continue to act the way that they are?
I feel like it's in the support. So he doesn't denounce it, or it's very, very hard, because someone who doesn't support these ideologies, it would be very, if you say, hey, Lise, can you say that the Proud Boys are bad? I would say, sure. I was about to say a curse word. I forgot. This is a different platform. Bump them. I would have no problem saying that at all. He can't do that because those are his supporters. Instead of denouncing racism, he'd rather have followers, like the issue that a lot of Republicans are having. I lost Twitter followers. I'm so upset about that. None of them actually sat there and said, I lost 140,000 followers that were spewing conspiracy theories, saying that they were going to assault people or kidnap people. Maybe I should realize, what am I doing that I'm attracting those type of people?
Gotcha.
They didn't do that.
And okay, so that makes more sense. Like, to the person that's still typing me right now, like that makes sense because even sometimes it's one of those things where, you know how you just want to hear somebody say it, not knowing that, it may not fix anything, but it's one of those things you want to hear. Okay, do you denounce this? Like, we just want to know if you cool with everything that's going on right now. We're not saying that you told them to do this, but the fact that this is going on and you're not saying anything about it, can you just say that you denounce it? So it'll be like, all right, in layman terms, that's what you're basically saying.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And just, I'm over my time of 10 minutes, but wait a minute, I'm going to say this and I'm going to go.
Okay.
I'm going to say this, but I'm going to go. So the issue is, I'm going to say this. I initially said that I didn't think that Donald Trump was all the things that people said he was. I felt like he was so narcissistic that he didn't care who was in the room. Whoever was in the room is who he spoke to. If they were black people, oh, I love my black people. If they're gay people, oh, I love the gays. And as soon as they leave, it's like, oh, I hate black people and gay. It didn't matter. It's just who is in the room. Who likes him? He likes you. That's Trump.
I feel you. And I like the way you say room. That's that East Coast stuff.
Sorry,
yo, come in the room. You come in the room. Come in the room, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Now I feel you. Lisa, no, I do appreciate you, but not, you know what I'm saying, and for coming through and for your support and stuff like that. I always welcome you to come in here to speak your mind. But you know what I do wish though?
What?
I wish we had some more Republicans up here to speak. Like, I want to see their faces. Like, I just want to see both sides of the fence, because like I'm reading all of y'all's comments and y'all messaging me in my inbox and stuff. I'm like, yo, just come on the show, because y'all ain't gonna be having me thinking that I'm just playing to one side. I want to hear both sides over here, because it just feels weird. So it's like we're talking to ourselves sometimes, and I got to read the comments, and it's just like I asked them to come on,
I feel
and
like
then they
you're
disappear.
pretty conservative, though. You
I
bring
have
a
conservative
really
ways.
conservative
And you know why I do that? I'm gonna keep it real. I bring it up so I can be like, hop on here and speak what you got to say, because I'm seeing both sides here, and I'm trying to reel them in. I'm keeping it real. Like, y'all come on and speak, because the comments, it's like, it'll be good just to hear it come from your mouth.
You're in Tennessee. You guys are so conservative. Like, I didn't realize how conservative you were until I was seeing a lot of the senators and stuff. I was like, oh, you have two that objected the election. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I see what you have to deal with. But, we will get it together eventually. I guess, the United States. But I'm going to leave. But before I go, I just want to let you guys know that we beat y'all, and we won, and the Titans are home. I love
really?
it.
That's how we doing?
Yeah, absolutely.
You've been waiting to say that?
Lamar Jackson all day. Baltimore, y'all home. It's okay, but it's okay. We're going to Buffalo. It's fine.
I hope y'all freeze and have like chopped off cold fingers.
We're East Coast, so what you mean?
Well, I hope that something happens. How about that? I can't rebuttal on that right now because I had to take that L, and that's what's up.
Nashville is a beautiful place, though. That's the only place in Tennessee I've been. Shout out to y'all. It's very clean. It doesn't smell like piss, and I didn't see crackheads. So it's not what I am familiar with, but it's very, very, very nice there. So I'm gonna go. I appreciate you guys. You're awesome and dope. And if you guys are triggered by my comments, you can find me at Millennials Anonymous, and you can go over there and be triggered over there as well. I love it. I appreciate it. I'm very trollish. Thank you. Have a good day.
Appreciate it, man. And we thank Lise Wendy for coming in the rum. That's what's up, man. Y'all earned that game. Yeah, they earned that game. I got to give it to them, you know what I'm saying? But this is what I will say, you know, as I get ready to close it. See, we ended up being 2 hours anyway, thanks to friends like Lise, and I appreciate you, sister. So I will say this. This is what I would like to happen, real talk. Yo, conservatives, hop on the show sometimes. Right? We want to see your faces. We want to hear your thoughts. This is not a bashing thing or a bias thing. I welcome everybody to come on and click, and just speak. Because I'll just sit back and let you talk. Because I'm learning at the same time too. I definitely don't want to make it seem like that I'm knowing everything on here. There are some things that I would address on things that I know about or that I just see. But I really love to hear other people's. I really would like to hear other people's opinions on everything. You know what I'm saying? I need to run the town. Yeah, but real talk, man. On my close, and shout out to Paul Rippey. Would love to understand the mind of the conservative. Yeah, I would really love to understand conservative mind and stuff like that, because I have conservative thoughts and ways, and you know what I'm saying. I have liberal ways and stuff too, man. I guess that's just why I'm just kind of like this sometimes, but I'm only like that because I definitely like to hear from the other side. So please don't think that y'all can't hop up on here and talk your stuff. From Kelly Almacher to Josh to Jenna to everybody else. Like, hop on and speak it. But when you hop on and speak it, just speak that truth. Speak how you feel. If you got some facts, come with some facts. And from the other side, I'm pretty sure it would do that too. Because we just want an understanding of each other. But we also know some other things that we have to micromanage within our communities that need to be done, all right? So I want to thank everybody for sharing. You know, I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the stars and stuff that you guys are sending us. And we got so much more to come. Hope you guys are looking forward to Dr. Anatomy, The Prescription, this Thursday. He's going to have an interesting topic. We've got a lot of big things, you know. I want to give a shout out to my producer, Josh Lovett. You know what I'm saying? Producer and director of a lot of these short films that we're doing, from The Hit List to The Helmet, which we've been nominated again, you know, we're nominees and stuff in the short film industry for horror and stuff like that, horror micro flicks. So, you know, we're making some moves on that side. I can't wait for y'all to see what we got going on. You feel what I'm saying? So, yes, Walter, all day. Yes, right, Sheffield. When it's cold, right? I don't know what it is, boy. They need to put some heating pads up under his feet or something. He need to wear a bodysuit. But anyway, you guys, appreciate you guys sharing. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Feel free to look at the rest of these shows or rewatch the show. Please continue to share this, and let's continue to have a dialogue. And to all the people that ain't heard of Royce's Rant, let them know what it is. You know, we got plenty of more topics coming up, and we want to get the people involved. So without further, you know, I bid you guys good night. I'm your boy Royce the Voice, Orange Click, Orange Leaders. Shout out to K-Team. Speak your thoughts or lose your mind, and we up out of here.